Hello, friends, and welcome to Pathologic, Volume 7, Episode 29. Today we are in for one of the precursors to a common Sudoku variant. We are going to learn about skyscrapers. And in order to do so, this will be a little bit tricky to visualize, so I will do my best to break it down for you as we take a look at the rules. Skyscrapers is a Latin square puzzle. We will place a number from 1 to n into each cell, so that each row and column contains every number from that range with no repeats, where n is the side length of the grid. That is a lot of words to describe the Latin square constraint that you see from time to time. So just like in a Sudoku, every row and every column will have all of the potential numbers, and we will never have a repeat, because if we did, we couldn't have all of the numbers. So there are two ways of saying the same thing, really. The difference between this and a Sudoku is that there are no regions. We only have rows and columns. That's what makes it a Latin square. Also, each number in the grid represents the height of a building, and the clues on the outside of the grid indicate how many buildings can be seen when looking in that direction. Taller buildings block the view of smaller buildings. This can be difficult to visualize at first, so let me describe exactly what these clues are doing. This 4 is saying that if we were standing on the street and looking this direction, we could see 4 buildings, because this is 1 story tall, this is 2 stories tall, 3 stories tall, and 4 stories tall, and obviously you can see all of these buildings because each one's higher than the one behind it. However, if you're standing on this side looking in, this 4-story building is taller than everything behind it, so we can't see more than just that one building. In the case of this 3, we can see the 1-story building right in front of us. We can see the 2-story building right behind it because it's taller, and then we can see the 4-story building, but we can't see this 3-story building because it's blocked by the 4-story building. So the clues will always give you where you're standing and how many buildings you can see. It's always obviously going to be at least 1, because you can always see the building in front of you, and never more than the number of rows and columns in the grid. Those are the rules of skyscrapers. So it's time to solve a puzzle. Today's skyscrapers puzzle comes to us from Freddie Hand. As always, we look for big numbers and little numbers in a pencil logic puzzle, and in the case of skyscrapers, 1s are extremely useful, and even more useful are numbers that are as big as the grid. This is a 6x6 grid, so we're putting numbers from 1 through 6 in them, and this 6 clue is maximal. It's going to tell us exactly what happens in this row. We have to see the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in order, because that's the only way we're going to see 6 distinct buildings in this row. Next, I am drawn to the 5s. What does a 5 tell us? It tells us something about where the 6 building is, because if that 6 building were in any of the first 4 positions, as soon as we've seen that building, we can't see anything behind it, so we couldn't possibly see 5. So it tells me that the 6 is in one of these last 2 slots. I'm going to pencil that in. So in this row, 6 is in one of these 2 positions. More importantly, in this column, we can do the same thing. 6 is in one of the final 2 positions, and we know where the 5 is. Well, we know the last position is not a 6, rather. So this is a 6. And now we've got 1 through 4 left to place. And in order to see 5, we're going to have to see all these 5 in particular. We can't see this one. So these have to be in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Those are the 5 that this needs right there. I hadn't even realized this interface lets me just click to see what's happening. So here, this 5 is only seeing the 1 right now because we haven't penciled anything else in yet. So let's think again about this 5, now that we know a 1 is here. Since this is only 1 story tall, whatever building we put here is going to obscure this one. So in order to see 5 distinct buildings, they've got to be these 5, not this one. We can't ever see this building. So the remaining ones are going to have to be in order so that we can see all of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the only way we're going to see all 5 buildings like so. And probably the next thing to do is, well, I can see a couple things. Actually, this one's a little bit more interesting. Let's look at this 2 clue. Where does the 6 go is going to be the question. We're seeing one building here. So we're going to see this one unless it is a 1. So let's say this is not a 1. Then we see a 2, whatever this one is, which is not 6, because 6 is here in this row. And then we're going to see a 6 at some point later. We're guaranteed to see that 6. And we're guaranteed to see this 2. So those are the 2. The 6 and the 2, which means we have to hide this building since it can't be our 6. And the only way we can hide it behind a 2 is if this is a 1. And then anything we put here is going to be seen because there's nothing else smaller than a 2. And we know we're going to see the 6 at some point, and we can only see 2 things. So this has to be the 6. And then we have what's left here, a 3 and a 4, but 3 can't go here because it's already there in that row. So it's 3, then 4. And we've finished our 2 clue. 3 is a little more difficult, but we have ruled 6 out of every place but these 2. And if 6 goes here, we have seen two skyscrapers, and then we're done. So this has got to be the 6. And this has got to be a 4 or a 5. I'll pencil that in because we've got to see the 3, something taller that isn't a 6 yet, and then the 6. And then we get our remaining ones. Oh, but we have 4 already in this column, so we actually know which one. That is a 5. And what is left in this column is a 1 and a 2. 1 does not go here. 1 goes here. And 2 goes here. We got 1 clue left, and then the rest is normal Latin square stuff. Actually, more normal Latin square stuff probably gives us something at this point, but rather than think it through, well, I'll think it through a little bit because I see that we have 5 6s. So the sixth 6 must be in the column that doesn't have 1 yet, and the row that doesn't have 1 yet. It goes here. So left in this column is a 1, a 2, and a 5, and there's 1s here and here. So that's the 1. And the 2 has got to go here, and the 5 has got to go here. So I didn't actually use this clue, but let's look at it anyway and verify that, yes, we do see 3 buildings when we're standing on that sidewalk. And then what's left, let's see, what's it going to be? We've got 3s in these 2 spots. We've got 1s. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1s. That's our break in. So this is the row that doesn't have a 1 yet, and this is the column that doesn't have a 1 yet. That leaves us a 4 in this row. So now 4s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th one is in this column and this row. And here we need a 3. So 3s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need a 3 in this column, and it can only go in this row, leaving us a 5 there. And left in this column is a 2, and left in this column is a 5. And that is how you solve a Skyscrapers.